Welcome to this Last Mile Profits video, the last word on the last mile. Letters via parcel lockers. Is this going to change the postal world? Stay tuned to find out more. Experience the future of convenience with modern Expo parcel lockers. Cutting-edge innovations that bring parcel delivery to a fundamentally new level. Follow the link in the description to find the best solution for your business. Gary, InPost is disrupting again. But this time, it's a little bit of back to the future. Because I don't know if you remember, but they used to be a postal operator.
I wasn't aware of that. I'm clearly much younger than I look.
Well, they used to be. So they used to be a postal operator. I won't go into details because there's some funny stories. Because, for example, to avoid the weight limit on non-postal operators serving parcels, they used to put these aluminium weights on each letter. God knows how they made that work financially. But what they're doing now is actually completely the opposite, because then they had a competitive disadvantage for that reason. Now they're planning to use lockers as a pick-up and drop-off location for letters. And I'll just add one other thing. It's not just them, because Latvian Post are doing something similar. So it's nice to see a postal operator actually looking at new ideas like this. What do you reckon?
It is interesting. I suppose my kind of practical commercial mind immediately goes, how much does it cost to send a letter in Poland, and how much of that is available for loading and unloading the locker? Is it a single letter, or can I put a bundle? If I was doing a little mail shot, or paying 10 bills, and I could put 10 envelopes in, I could kind of see it working. But for a single letter, how does the economics work?
Well, I'll tell you. So the Latvian one, I think, is a bit more simple. It basically is just adding a post box to the locker. So it's not. It's the sending side. So that works pretty easily, and it means that you've probably noticed. I've certainly noticed there are far fewer letterboxes than we've seen in the past. But if someone anyway has to go to the locker, it makes a lot of sense to pick up a bunch of letters at the same time. The InPost one, I understand, is a bit different, but InPost have got a really cool thing in their lockers. Which, I don't know if you've seen this, but they have these very, very narrow cells, which are sort of book size. Yeah. So I think it means a normal cell can have about 10 subcells in them. So you can achieve a scenario whereby you can not just drop off, but pick up letters, taking very little cell space. And, remember that when the courier is delivering 80, 90 pieces per stop, the cost per item, even a letter, is so low that I think it can fly. So I quite like it.
I do like it because, again, so here's an intriguing thought for you then. So imagine in the UK then, we're deploying lockers with literally a post slot. In our Dropbox, you open a flap and you've got a 100mm thick slot, which is designed around, the small e-com packets and jiffy bags and so on that we see all the time. So imagine if Royal Mail perhaps wanted to adopt our locker. Did you know that every postage stamp in the UK now has a barcode on it, a unique barcode? So you could actually have elementary tracking of each postal item going into one of our lockers. Add to that the fact that the cost of a first-class postage stamp in the UK is now exactly the same as a seaside cottage on the Black Sea. It's so expensive.
Do you know what it is roughly?
Well, it's just gone up. I haven't paid enough attention. It was £1.25 before, and they've just announced a new tariff from the 1st of April. And that might be the £1.25 change, but it's not the penny. It's not a penny black anymore. It's £1.25.
But you know what, Gary? I reckon that this is really quite cool, and for postal operators who are really, really under pressure at the moment, this could be a clever way to leverage, particularly if they do have out-of-home assets, to leverage those assets. It's more ecological. Of course, it makes the postie even more expensive if you take away some of the volume. So it'd have to be really cleverly thought out, or thought through. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. But I personally love it. I think it's a really interesting approach. The de minimis would be to use lockers as a Dropbox, and frankly, Gary, you could do the same at Pudo points.
Yeah, it's true, but I've looked at that in the past, about bringing postal items into a Pudo. Again, where you get stuck with Pudos is on the economics. How much do you pay somebody for handling it? If you could handle a bundle of 100 letters perfectly economically, but 10 maybe 3, how much are you going to give the guy for processing one letter?
I I can't share too much, but we're working on a project which would deal with that whole issue. The economics would work. Maybe in a couple of months' time I can share more. But yeah, I think it's you're right. That is an issue with the current model for Pudos. But look, let's see how things develop. It would be really great if any other postal operators or customers of postal operators have seen something like this anywhere else in Europe or even worldwide. Please comment below. We really value comments because it adds extra, I would say, information that we just may not have, and allows us also to comment. So please do add your own views. Let's see where this pans out. But I think this could be a very interesting development. I should add one other thing. It's pretty poor timing for Polish Post, who are really under the pump anyway at the moment. And the last thing they need is an attack on what is, their core remaining bastion. So, let's see how it does pan out. And looking forward to some good comments on this one. Thanks for watching this Last Mile Profits video. For more up-to-date last mile news and analysis, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on LinkedIn.